Enjoy.
Look at how 4 pounds. You just walk off with it. Thank you, girl. You guys, I'm going to show you now something that you also need in life because sometimes the power does go out. And when the power goes out, you need to not be stuck like Chuck, as they say. So sometimes I say, you know, who wants to be stuck like Chuck? And that means you feel like you're in a bind. Like the power went out, and what am I going to do about it? Well, you can pick up EcoFlow today. This is the EcoFlow River 3 power station. It's the most affordable option that we offer for a river. So there are different types of EcoFlow. So this is the River 3. It's the most affordable option that we have. And today, it's exclusive bundle so that you are looking if you want to get this with the solar panel or without the solar panel. Now, I would get it with the solar panel, but I do have an update for you. If you want the version without, how many? Oh. Only 4 are left if you want the EcoFlow without the solar panel. So use the QR code without the solar panel. It's $159.99. And they will be gone in a heartbeat because you're saving $80 off. But I really think if you can swing it, you've got to get the one with the solar panel. That's the one that I have. So this means that the sun can actually power this up for you. So if for some reason you're like, you know what, I just need to take this outside, get it powered up so I can then power up everything that I need inside the house, you're going to be able to do it. So if you do get the one with the solar panel, it is $229.99. You're saving $190. I can tell you that the fact that you are getting the wonderful case, this case is $70 normally, and then the fact that you get the solar panel for $80, that's $150 just right there. So I have EcoFlow, and I have 3 different versions. When I moved to Florida, I've been in all the hurricanes, right? Can't escape it, you know. And it scared me half to death. First was Hurricane Irma, and I didn't have anything. This power station gave me my confidence back. It gave me my peace of mind. And, you know, as the mom of the household, the wife of the household, however you want to look at it, I felt like we had a plan when the power went out. So I want to bring in Justin Hyatt because this made me not feel so afraid.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, just so much anxiety.
Yeah.
Because that all comes along with living in Florida during hurricane season, which starts right now in June. But even if you don't live in a hurricane-prone area, I also came from Texas, and I also lived in Oklahoma, where there are tornadoes. My reporting career took me to Indianapolis, where there were the winter storms. All of those will take the power out.
Yeah, exactly.
All of those situations.
Yeah.
So I love that we have, this is the latest in technology for Eco River, right?
It is. So I think, what has it been? Maybe 4 days since we launched this. We're already almost sold out. This is the first time that we've actually had the River 3. Now, we've had, of course, the River and then the River 2. And we've been able to have a lot of these predecessors because we've been doing it now for 7 years. This is kind of like our 7-year anniversary now, which is unbelievable. And now it's also, unfortunately, the hurricane anniversary. It's June 1st, so it is that first kind of that beginning of hurricane preparedness. It's hurricane season, but this is not only one of the latest and greatest, it's the most lightweight and most affordable that we've ever offered in a power station. Less than 8 pounds, Debbie. So I was thinking, I just went bowling the other day.
Right.
I mean, an 8-pound bowling ball, right? What feels like it weighs nothing. That's what this is. Instead of it just being, you know, one of those larger power stations, which of course we love and that we offer a lot of those. We love that we're offering now something that's not only just affordable, but ultimately portable, because I think this just now allows you to use this in so many more ways, because if it's 100 pounds, it's going to stay home. This one's not going to stay home. And now you also have the backpack, and you have literally the first time, look at the solar panel. How cute is the solar panel that you're going to take with you as well? Well,
and I have the River 2, of course, and it's bigger. But let's talk about everything that happens when the power goes out, right? If you work from home, and that's my husband, then that's your livelihood, right? If you can't get on your job. You have kids at home, or they have homework and they need to get on their tablet or their computer, or maybe it's the summer and they're like, oh, I want a PlayStation, I want to play Fortnite with my friend, whatever it is, right?
Spoken like a true mom
You're trying to keep them happy, right? I'm just going through what's in my head. And then I'm thinking, how am I going to get my coffee? And how am I going to get dinner on the table? And how am I going to wash the clothes? And how am I going to, keep things cold in the fridge? this is going to allow life to keep going on. And that's why I think that the EcoFlow is the best purchase out of everything that I have ever purchased at HSN. And you know, you watch me, you know, I sold this jacket earlier and I sold these jeans earlier, but your livelihood is everything. So this is the most important purchase. And so I thank you for making it the most affordable.
We wanted to kick off this hurricane season for something that is affordable, something that's very versatile, and it really plays into the world of the lifestyle that you're talking about too, right? Because we all need the same thing. We all need power. We all are reliant on power, and you know, the adaptation, adapting to where we live. You said it. When I lived in Indiana, I knew that we were going to have winter storms. Living down here in Florida, I know I'm going to have hurricanes. You might live in an area that might be prone to tornadoes or these, you know, these crazy high wind areas that you might be living in. You need to adapt to the different environments that you're in, but now having power that's not only accessible, but it's affordable and that's truly portable. Now, is this going to be whole home backup? No, it is not. It's not meant for that, but it is meant for those in the pinch emergencies, and now for those in the pinch fun opportunities, because now the convenience of taking this with you. And when we talk about adapting to your lifestyle, and we're going to show you some ideas on what you can plug into this. You know, Debbie, you were just talking about your husband. You know, Suzanne, I was on with earlier. Both of your husbands work from home, work remote. They need to make sure that they've got something for their Wi-Fi router. And this is one of the really cool things. If we can hold this graphic really quickly, I want you to see that router. You see where it says 4 watts, 40 hours. Now, the reason why we can do that is because we have this brand new proprietary technology. This was not available in the River 2. It is available, though, in the River 3. It's called X-Gain technology. It allows you to use 4 watts or 5 watts and actually double that length of time that you can run it. So a monitor, a router for 40 hours. Now, that Fortnite, that work from home, getting to the next level, or whatever you might be doing on Fortnite. Now you can be playing on, you know, all of your different Xboxes or on your computer. So I love that we've really added, you know, even more technology to the battery technology that already exists, that already sets precedences. And then, of course, not just for our electronics, but even the other things that are in our home, from lights to fans. And even when we go to the next graphic with the lights, you'll even see where it shows you those low wattage appliances like the lamp. Still, look at how long that is for a lamp, nearly 40 hours still with a light source. So, you know, I love that with Vonabelle and showing the fan. You know, we have to start to think about what's our lifestyle, but who do we have in our home? Keeping ourselves cool during the summer. I'm sweating from leaving the house to walk into the car, right? It is hot. But you know, heat's actually one of the most deadly weather events you can experience. We often don't even talk about that. You have to keep yourself cool, and how quickly it can get really hot in the house when all of a sudden you're out of power for even just 30 minutes. It could be 70 degrees in the house, and you give it about an hour, and it's 100 degrees outside, and it's going to feel like 100 degrees in the home. So be able to keep yourself cool even in the comfortable place that you live, like inside your house, but then take those comforts and bring them outside your home, like to the campground, like to the football field. You played softball. So you know your mom and dad sat out there and endured the games, all the time. All that heat. Endured all the heat. How nice would it be to say, you know what?
They loved me.
Exactly.
You do the darndest things for your kids.
You do.
And I did that in Texas. You know how hot it was.
Oh my goodness.
Texas. But you guys, I want you to pick this up. I want you to have a plan. And when you pick up your EcoFlow tonight, which is the most affordable option, because I have the River 2, it was more expensive, and I even have the Delta, which is the big kahuna, because the storms here are fierce, right? But I just didn't want to be stuck like Chuck. That's my thing, right? And so, and you may not have the money to go to a hotel, or you don't, and you definitely might not want to go to a shelter. You know, you don't know those people. You may feel unsafe. And then, and I'm not knocking that, because sometimes that's what you have to do, but you do have to be very careful when you're around strangers. You don't know their background, their criminal, you know, history. So you avoid having to say, hey, I've got to go to a hotel, I've got to go to a shelter, I don't have any family. But I do have an update for you. So, okay, so the version without the solar panel is gone. So the only option you have is we have the final 400 with the solar panel. Get it get it, get it. I have the solar panel. This gives you the option so that this can be powered by the sun so that you can basically power up all your devices. I'm also going to give you this wonderful carrying case. The case is $70, the solar panel $80. The fact that you're getting everything for $229 is a steal when this should be about $420. But the fact that this was supposed to last longer, this is the start of hurricane season here in the Florida area. So we usually start selling these about, the first week or so in June. Once these sell out and we just got the most affordable option, I don't know how much longer it would take for us to even get more in. So get it home. It's an exclusive bundle. And what I like too is that, so many people have medical problems. We've talked about how my husband can't get rid of his sleep apnea, right? There are people who have breathing machines. So this is why this is my most important. I don't have to worry about, is his health going to be in jeopardy if the power goes out? Because that's one thing we can't control, is the power going out. But we can control right now getting this home on free shipping. And what is my flex pay on this with the solar panel? Because I think I don't have that card out here. So, Rob, what's my flex pay? It's 5 flex on everything, and it's free shipping. So for it to be $229, I'll add it up, because he's not listening to me right now. And I can't add up that quickly. What's the flex on it? $46. Didn't mean to call you out, Rob. He's preparing for the next show. He's doing something very important, getting ready for today's special. $46 to get home peace of mind so that you can do everything that you need to do in your house. If a significant other needs to work from home, they can continue work. If somebody has a health problem, they can still breathe. The breathing machine's gonna come on. You need this because, we can't help it when the power goes out. You can call the company all day long and say, my power's out, and they'll tell you, get in line.
Exactly.
So is everybody else's.
Right, and you'll get the text and say, you've got 5,000 people around you who are also out of power. You're all sitting there. I was just sitting here while you were talking. I'm thinking, we always talk about the practical things, right? You're saying the best purchase I made is EcoFlow. We always think about the practical things we can have. What's more practical than having power at home?
Right.
Or just knowing, as you were saying, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. I mentioned that every single presentation because as cliche as that is, it is so real. It's the thing that's what we live with. We live with the Murphy's Law. We know that at some point in time, at the worst point in time, when we need to have that CPAP machine, when we need that breathing machine, this is gonna happen. And the power is gonna go out, and that thunder and lightning is gonna strike, except for our lights aren't gonna go out. We're gonna have our lights and we're gonna have our fans, and we're not having to worry about what you were talking about at the very beginning, Debbie, which is what? Anxiety. When you have yourself prepared, how different was it when you knew going into the next hurricane season that you had your EcoFlow at home? A little bit different than before when you didn't have that EcoFlow.
Oh, absolutely, it was different. I cried that first time when Hurricane Irma had all this pressure of, parents calling me and loved ones, get out of there, get out of there. Everybody's more scared than you are. And I just felt bad that I didn't have a plan and I didn't have anything where I knew we can stay home if we want to, because it is your choice. Sometimes you're gonna have to leave, right? Or, depending on where you live. And sometimes you can stay put. What I can also tell you is there was one time that we left and we took our EcoFlow with us to the hotel, and it was a good thing we did because they were supposed to have all these fancy generators. The power went out. And let me tell you something, my husband has a nice boss. Shout out to Ben, by the way. But he wanted to know, when are you gonna be back up and running? So the show has to go on. Because he's not just, he has an IT job and he's servicing people all over the country, not just in Florida where the power goes out. So you may have that type of job where they want to know, when can you get back on, because time is money. So you can continue with that. You can continue if your kids are in school so that they can, still do their homework, or just so that they're not thinking about all of what's going on. You want them to be able to not worry. So, hey, I want you to go and play your game because I don't want you to worry about adult stuff that we can't control. And, this just allows you to have life to keep going. The first time I cried, to be honest, and I was a nervous wreck. And I mean, I didn't do anything right. I didn't go get the food in time. We got to the grocery store, everything was gone.
Yep.
You know, and I thought, oh my goodness, I'm just not organized, just not ready. When you have a plan, you feel so much better.
Yeah.
You can sleep at night and you can say, hey, okay, I don't have to watch the meteorologist all night long, wall-to-wall coverage, because it's just making my anxiety worse. I just know that if this power goes out, I'm good. And that's all you need to know, right? Because that anxiety gets in and things start going around in your head and what if? You know at least you're going to have power so that the microwave works. Because how much, you know, or the refrigerator, you don't want to waste all that food.
Yeah, well, just knowing that if this is just for your refrigerator, if this was just for a fan, if this was just to make sure that you were able to continue to have that open line of communication so that you can continue to have your phones charged, have your TV running, have your internet going, in that pinch and in that moment when you know, all right, I've got something there ready and available, but we love the idea that it's not just a break glass in case of an emergency investment. Why? Because yes, I know I've got it for the emergency, but I also know that I've got it for all the fun stuff. And that's why I mentioned, especially with this one, weighing less than 8 pounds, with the backpack included, knowing that I've also got the solar panel. I can take this anywhere with me now. I can take the solar panel without even thinking twice about it. It'll fit right into this backpack and I'll forget I even have it in there. It weighs nothing. And then again, just the versatility now, grabbing this and being able to know I've got the confidence that one, I know I'm going to use it. Two, that I'm going to have the strength to pick this up. This is not like a generator. Now I want to kind of give you a once over on this. I want you to see how easy this is. One touch of a button to turn it on right here, and that's it. The learning curve is roughly 0. I mean, you might not even have to pick up a user manual because there's really not a lot that you need to necessarily learn outside of a lot of the different technology and features that are inside of this. Now, of course, you do have your AC outlets right here, so this is where you're going to plug in your lights and your fans and your refrigerators, your laptops, and all of the other appliances like a lamp that we were just showing you as well. You also have your USB-C and your USB-A ports for all of your phones and all of your tablets. So again, open line of communication. Your DC port right here, so you can plug in any of those DC appliances. And by the way, DC runs even more efficient than AC, so if you do go camping and you might have some kind of camping appliances, like even lights and fans that run off of that DC, great. Here's the other really cool thing. We talk about weather events. The weather can change really quickly. This charges really quickly. This charges from 0 all the way to 100% in, I want you to think of a number, maybe 5 hours? In 1 hour from 0 all the way to 100%. Now, why is that amazing? One, it's just a testament to the amazing battery technology that exists today, but also it allows you to say, you know what, let's go on that road trip, or maybe let's go to the pickleball court, or let's go to those different places that we weren't planning on. As life changes, even day to day, we can have this in a pinch, or we see the news say there's gonna be terrible storms in our area today. Now I can charge this in just an hour, and talk about all the different ways you can charge it. So we can plug it into a wall, recharge it via the AC in 1 hour from 0 all the way to 100%. We can use that same AC outlet for anybody who does have a generator at home. Now we recognize not everybody can. If you live in an apartment or condo, you can't own a generator. What do you do? Instead of just feeling just, well, like you said, stuck like Chuck. I love that. Stuck like Chuck. Well,
stuck like Chuck.
Now flip the game with Chuck. Now be the Chuck where everybody's like, I want to be stuck like that Chuck, because now that Chuck has an EcoFlow at home, has power at home, and then that orange port right here, now my solar panel. Now if we are going on that road trip, I can use this little orange port right here to charge it via solar, or that Boston accent just came out from the rest of my solar. That solar panel. And then the DC port right here for when you plug it into your car if you are going on any of those road trips. So I love that. So it charges quickly. Here's the other really cool thing, Debbie, that we haven't even talked about. It's the first time I've ever been able to talk about this with any power station. So 7 years, I've never been able to talk about this. This has actually been drop tested from about 3.5 feet. Wow. It's also IPX54 rated. So if you were thinking, oh, well, I may never go camping, so why would I ever use that? Well, maybe you're gonna use it in the kitchen. Right. Because maybe in that kitchen area, you don't have any appliances that you're gonna be using. I know we got, I think, Shark coming up maybe as a TS later. Not Shark Beauty, but maybe you got some Shark Ninja stuff that you might have. And you need these appliances, you can use them right here and have those outlets. So I just love the durability aspect of it. So, and one other thing. rated to be within 174 degrees. I've never mentioned that before. If you were to leave this in a car, just nice to know that this battery technology is still going to last through high temperatures as well.
You guys, and you are going to be able to power it by the sun. If you're just joining us, we sold out of the version without the solar panel, and we just started presenting this. So you're responding. You wanted the most affordable option, and we finally have it. It's the newest technology with EcoRiver, and it's the most affordable EcoRiver. It's the smallest, it's the most compact, so that it's right under 8 pounds, so that you can lift this. You are going to get this wonderful backpack carrying case. I love that you can carry it this way, so that if you want to take this as an RVer, if you're in camper, if you are doing the tailgating, you can have this anywhere you go, right? Because you can take it with you. This is a $70 value just for this big, huge backpack, $80 value for the solar panel. You can power this device by the sun. It looks like a lunchbox. It just looks so inconspicuous, right? It looks like a little lunchbox. It does so much more, so that you are able to eat your lunch, right? If you want to be able to, have your microwave to work, the fans to work in your house when the AC and the power goes out, all of those important things, charging your tablet, charging your phone, charging the lamps. And this is something you actually need. You may not have the money to go to a hotel, nor do you want to spend the money to go to a hotel. Save your money if you can stay at home when that power goes out. Maybe you don't have family in town, and you don't want to, I don't want to be an imposition to anybody, even if I did have family. I'd rather stay in my own house than pack up all my other stuff and be in their way, or at least I would feel that way, because the power could be out, depending on where you live, for several days, or how long. You are able to buy yourself time, and it's $46 to get home this whole system of a powerful power station. And generators are loud. They use gas. I personally am a little afraid of them because of the whole gas situation. This is something very simple to use. And I have 3 forms of EcoFlow, because I started off with the smaller River, but they didn't have this available the first time I bought it. So I love this because it's for your entertainment if you go to tailgating, but it's also for when in dire straits, like stuck like Chuck.
Yeah.
You had the winter storm, the power's out. You had the tornado, the power's out. You had high winds, the power's out. The tornado, the hurricane, whatever it is. It could be the squirrel that was up there chomping around, and you're like, what happened? The power's out. And instead of calling them over and over, when are you going to turn on the power? When are you going to turn on the power? Have your own plan. It is simply the best purchase I've ever had.
I think when you think about just the peace of mind that we talked about, making the decision and knowing you've got it, and I think, again, we talk about just all the different ways that you can use it. I love this. And all the different places you can use it. And no need to be stuck like Chuck anymore. Generators are fantastic. Generators are great. We've had EcoFlow generators. It's not that we're anti-gas, we're pro options, and you need to have more options. Guy always talks about, I want a plane that's got 2 engines.
Right.
I want a boat that's got 2 engines. We got to have a plan just in case that one engine doesn't work. It's that mentality. Now, as far as generators go, they are great, but you know what? They're not for everybody. But you know what is for everybody? EcoFlow is. And speaking of everybody, for the past 7 years, we have quickly become the #1 power station brand here at HSN, the #1 power station brand in the United States. So I want you to think about that. In a world of backup power, where only gas and propane existed for these types of generators, now a new category of power stations, to be the leader in that category continuously, 7 years as we are now, is amazing. So you're getting the #1 brand in the United States, but we're not only in the United States anymore. We're now in 140 different countries. We're fully global and growing every year, every month. We have nearly 5 million customers as well. And so I love that not only just global, you know why? Because again, it doesn't matter if we're here in Florida, Montana, or all the way across the world. We all need what? We need food, we need water, and we need power. And it doesn't matter for whatever reason it might be, whether it's for entertainment or for emergencies, this crosses and checks off both of those boxes for emergencies, for entertainment. Not a lot of things you can invest in that can do that. I just wanted to quickly mention the CPAP machine because I know your husband he needs it, right? It's not like, well, I have sleep apnea. Well, when you have sleep apnea, you need to have a CPAP machine. If you did not have power all night, Now you would, and I love this. We're showing you 6 hours right now, Deb, but I actually had this. Once it runs a little bit longer, it actually will adjust on the display. It'll actually show you. This can actually run for 8 hours, a CPAP machine. That's a whole night's sleep. I guarantee even if it was just 6 hours for your husband, he would say, that would still be great. I'd rather have 6 hours of using my CPAP machine than no hours at all.
That's right.
So again, I just love this, even if it was just as an investment for your CPAP machine. Why? The CPAP machines, as you know, they're not like $100.
No, they're very expensive.
They're like $700, if not more, for a CPAP machine. If you could invest in something that was specifically just to make sure that you had backup power for your CPAP, it would be worth it, maybe even for those little mini refrigerators. And by the way, still even a full-size refrigerator you can run with this as well. And it's whisper quiet. It only runs at 20 decibels. So either you're only going to hear him snoring, or you're going to hear the CPAP machine we're running, but you won't hear your EcoFlow running because it is whisper quiet.
And you know, when I moved here, I was told you've got to get an EcoFlow. After that first storm, Hurricane Irma, they said, you know, it was going to be bad, and it was not quite as bad as they said, but we did lose power, and I didn't have EcoFlow. The next hurricane that came, guess what? I had EcoFlow. When my best friend moved down here, Renee Jackson Love, we've been friends since, you know, college. There's a group of us besties, and I said, you've got to get EcoFlow. She was like, what do I need to get? She's been here for 3 years. She got the EcoFlow. And I love that people listen, and especially when it's your most affordable option. You guys, I don't have a lot to go around. So when this sells out, I don't know when we will honestly be able to get more in. So get it right now, because it's not a matter of if, it's when the power will go out. How many do we have left? Because I know, I was like, 330 of you can get it in the whole entire country. And I wish we could have brought in more. I don't control that. So we get what we can get, right? This is an exclusive bundle, and you are basically saving $190. Should be over $400 for this deal. So you're saving $190, and we put it on free shipping, and we put it on 5 payments for you. So the first payment is $46. Why would you not get it? Because you know that the power is going to go out, and you need your phone, you need your computer. You got to be able to communicate with people. You need, if it's in the summertime, you need air, so your fans need to be working. You need light. You've got to be able to see. You can't be tripping over everything. I'm telling you, you don't want to be stuck like Chuck, like I was. Like, I was a hot mess. I just had no idea, but when you know better, you do better. And you're here watching this presentation for a reason, so I want you to get it home. This solar panel, you're going to love, Justin, because it's powered by the sun.
Yeah, and what does that mean? Not only is it renewable power, it's infinite power. It's power that you're not having to pay for all the time, whereas a generator, to refill a generator, you need gas. What's the first thing to go? Gasoline in emergency. So at least, again, knowing that you got the solar panel, that's why I know that you don't have the option anymore for the standalone, but that's why everybody was picking the bundle in the first place, which I know we started with more than the standalone itself. And I think we do have the 2-pack available too.
We do.
So you can get multiple solar panels if you already own, if you're already owning this. So you can get additional solar panels, and you can connect them all together so you get more solar to recharge your power station quicker, or by having more solar, you can also turn this into what we call a solar generator. Now, a lot of you might say, right over that. Here's what that means. Having more solar, and this at 100%, means if I'm running a fan or a light, or even charging phones, I'm doing that from the sun instead of depleting the power from my power station. The sun is now passing through that power from the solar through my power station to whatever I've got plugged in. So really amazing type of technology.
Yeah, absolutely wonderful. And to be able to give you new technology with EcoFlow RIVER, and the most affordable option that we've ever been able to do, and the lightest weight. Maybe you can't even lug around those big ones, right? But you can get this one home, and you'll have it forever. And you will be grateful that you have a plan, because this solar panel, if